all of the work that we've been able to do is because of my amazing team. My deepest appreciation I see you, Aisha. My deepest appreciation to my cabinet chiefs, department heads, and to each and every one of the city's 18,000 employees. Working with you over the last 8 months has been an honor, and I am proud to have served with you.
We're here in the studio with the 55th Mayor of Boston, Kim Janey. So let's talk about what you see as the key highlights of the administration, of your administration.
You know, there are so many that I can point to, but I think a big one, or the two that are related to the overarching priorities that I talked about in my farewell, was really being that stabilizing force and trying to comfort the city, lead the city through our vaccination efforts around COVID.
And reopening the city.
Reopening the city, getting our kids back in school. But the other was really, you know, moving our city forward. Change is very difficult. There's a lot of work that we still have to do as it relates to equity in our city, making sure that folks are being included, and that we're dealing, you know, with what I lifted up as statistics that have become sound bites in Boston. $8 of wealth, you know, the 30-year life expectancy gap in our city, 40 inches of sea level rise. We've got to make sure that we are doing the work that moves our city forward, that lifts up people who are left behind, and we can't be afraid of the tough conversations, particularly as it relates to race and racism and what that has done here in our city and who has been impacted by that. So we have a lot more work to do, and
the work continues.
It does continue.
Yeah. You know, you have been very involved in education even before your time in City Council and before the mayor's office. Let's talk about that first day of school. Days prior to, there were some issues with the bus drivers. Was there going to be a strike? You know, a lot of drama in the air. But the first day went pretty much without a hitch, didn't it?
It went even better than that, Karen. We had our highest ever on record first day attendance for the city, and so I'm really proud of that. And we did very well in terms of on-time arrival, you know, beating out our 5-year average, so I'm really proud of that. Obviously, we want all kids to be in school on time every single day, but we, you know, broke records. And this is our third school year impacted by COVID-19. This is after a year of remote learning, so it was critically important to get children back into the classrooms and making sure that we were supporting their learning. And so we made investments to make sure that we could do that and to do it safely.
Now, by the time school was reopening, you were well into the campaign phase of your term. Those that have followed Black electoral politics have said, oh, either Mayor Janey should have run or Andrea Campbell should have run. If they both run, they're going to cancel each other out, which seems to be what happened. What do you say to those who had that opinion about the race?
Well, you know, I am a firm believer in democracy, and if people feel called to lead and serve, then they should do so. I don't believe in pushing anyone out of a race. You know, I think what happened here, we certainly had low turnout, and that was devastating. I'm proud that I won handily, you know, communities of color, all of the precincts that had majority of people of color, I won those precincts. And so I'm really proud of that work. And it was important after the prelim to give an indication of what we do next, which is why I endorsed Mayor-elect Wu so early after that prelim, so that those who supported my candidacy, who believed in racial justice work, who wanted to move our city forward, knew where they should go with their support.
And Mayor-elect Wu, in fact, acknowledged your historic tenure as mayor on the night that she was elected. And I guess I'd be interested to know, what did you say to her on the night of the election? If you can share with us.
I called both Michelle and Anissa. I did reach Michelle. I got a voicemail for Anissa to congratulate them. That was on election night during the prelim. During the general, I was there for Michelle at her party as one of her many supporters and as someone who endorsed her and gave her a big warm hug. Really happy, congratulated her, and offered my continued support because this is a big job. There are a lot of big challenges that are still facing our city, and this work requires that we all come together.
What advice have you been giving to Mayor-elect Wu?
The work is nonstop, so it is important to take those moments for your family, for just some self-care, making space for joy. I launched the Joy Agenda as part of my administration.
What is the Joy Agenda?
The Joy Agenda recognized that, dealing with COVID for almost 2 years now, that there was so much devastation and isolation, and we really needed to be intentional about coming together to reconnect, to rebuild, to rejuvenate, to restore our souls. It's deeply rooted in African American culture and tradition, understanding how difficult things are, that joy comes in the morning always, and that we've got to be intentional about creating that space for joy so that we can get up and do the hard work. If we're just always focused on the work and not taking time to care for ourselves and our loved ones, then we can burn out. And so it's important that and our city needed it. Our city needed it. We still need to learn how to reconnect and rebuild with each other. There is, as we talked earlier, a lot of trauma. There are a lot of folks who have a lot of emotion and trauma that is difficult to process, and so we've got to be able to connect and rebuild with each other. We spent a lot of time in Zoom boxes, not having real, in-person conversations. So it was really important that we, take that time to connect and rebuild with each other so we can do the hard work of moving our city forward.
All right. Our conversation with Mayor Kim Janey continues coming up. What's next on the horizon for this Boston-born leader?